Hey, welcome to another video from SkinnyMedic. It's Monday. The weekend kind of got past us. We've been doing a weekend video and kind of realized we didn't do one. So
snuck up on us.
Yeah, we're still alive. We're making it. So we figured we'd do another weekly update for you guys. Mm-hmm. You can go first.
I went to the grocery store this past weekend and they had changed some things. They had all the little stickers down reminding you to stay 6 feet apart, social distancing. They had taken their buggies and turned them up and had tape at the entrance, so you had to funnel in one side and funnel out, trying to keep people farther apart, I guess. I didn't see them blocking off non-essential aisles. We had a friend who said they were kind of doing that kind of thing in their Walmart, directing you to essential things only. But I didn't really see that at ours. So
yeah, I
did decide to just get a grocery cart, and I sprayed rubbing alcohol all over it because it was hard to make grocery runs. They're telling you not to go out unless you need to, but if I don't feel like I can get enough stuff that we want, and we haven't really dipped into our canned stuff. I'm still going out weekly right now because we have one person in our zip code that has been diagnosed with it. Our surrounding cities have some, but our actual zip code only has one, and there is a breakdown on our DHEC website that allows you to keep a track by zip code. So that's helpful for knowing. So I've still been going and getting fresh stuff, getting the kids' favorite snacks. I mean, those we can go without those things. They're not necessities, but with only one person in the zip code, I'm not too stressed. Like I said, I disinfected the buggy well. I disinfected my shoes. I took hand sanitizer with me and used it several times throughout the store. I did try to push with the buggy on my left hand and only pick up items with my right, so I wasn't, if I did touch anything, I wasn't like spreading it. So I just tried to, and like I said, I'm not too worried yet, but I'm just thinking ahead of down the road. Is they keep saying we're not going to peak till like April 24th. So in theory, I have a few weeks to get this down pat. I also we have found a local produce place that has like a school bus that I thought about going to get produce versus going in Walmart, because everybody in our zip code goes to Walmart. We only have 2 grocery stores in the zip code, and our zip code does have it's a primarily lower income, so they're going to shop there versus Ingles, which typically is a little bit more expensive. So
yeah, it's crazy to me thinking about how much storage space you actually really need to have a month, 6 months worth of food built up, because our storage is pretty good, but it's still like to have actually a true 6 months worth of food storage, or even a month, where you need a lot of storage space for that. That's kind of what I've been thinking about. So
yeah, and that was when we designed this house. I actually have a room that is just my pantry, separate from where at our old house I had laundry room, pantry, and my closet in one room. So when we designed this house, we did design it to allow us to have more space for that kind of thing. But also with just having moved at the end of January, we are probably not built up to where we would want to be typically, but we had been working on it prior to this happening. So I'm taking that into consideration every time I do go to Walmart, is what can I add without, taking everything off the shelf.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, we got our garden tilled last week. We haven't planted anything. We've been slackers about that. We just don't want to go to the store and buy plants to plant our garden if it's not really essential right now. So we're kind of holding off on our garden for right now for a few more weeks. And we were talking about, the early predictions of this death was, 90,000 people in the United States, up to 120, even 200,000 people we saw. So we haven't reached our peak yet. They're still saying 3 to 4 weeks out, typically. You can go to healthdata.org. I'll put a link to that website down below. You can choose United States, or you can choose your state. And it kind of gives you predictions of when you're going to peak and things like that. But to get to that number, we're going to have to jump a lot. And I hope we don't. I think it's a good thing. I think what we're doing is working. But to get to the numbers they predicted, we're going to have to jump a lot in the next few weeks. So it should be interesting to see if those numbers actually do pan out, or if they're not as bad. I know that we're not testing everybody. We're testing only the really high cases. So I think, those mortality rates we're seeing 2%, 5%, I don't think you can look at those numbers. I think they're off. Because if we tested everybody, then you would get a much truer data sense of what the mortality rate is. I think a lot more people have it that don't think they do. I think a lot of people had it back the first of the year. There's a lot of research going on that now about maybe SHOT Show time, or January, February. Maybe it was already here. So you're seeing that peak really high up. And I don't think it was that necessarily. I think it's more of a gradual thing. I think a lot of people who have it in the United States. And then I read some information this week about enzymes. So they're thinking now that if you've had COVID-19, you've got an enzyme built up to it. So it may be good for a year. It may be good for a lifetime. They don't really know yet. Kind of like chicken pox. Once you've had the chicken pox, you don't need the vaccine for it. You're good. So they're thinking this may be the thing with COVID-19. They just don't know if it's good for a year or if it's good for a lifetime. So you can actually now start buying tests to see if you've had it or if you've built up immunity to it. So a lot of stuff is kind of building up what we're learning about this. And now the CDC is saying we should wear masks. You know, a few weeks ago we started making videos like, don't wear a mask. It's fine. Now it's like, oh, this is a droplet with benefits, basically, is what I'm going to say. So it is still, it's not airborne, but it's not a true droplet either. So it's kind of like what I say, like if you blow bubbles, like the kids' bubble maker, when you blow those bubbles out, they stay out in the air and then eventually they fall to the ground and they die. Well, that's the same thing with this COVID-19. It doesn't like spread out and lift up and go into the HVAC system and stuff like that, like a true airborne, but it just kind of hangs out. And that's the part that's kind of scary, is just hanging out like that. So now they're saying wear a mask. I was fortunate enough that 2 companies donated masks to me, and then I donated to local first responders. So Blue Alpha Gear donated some face shields, and then Olight donated some face shields to me, and then I turned around and gave them out to my local first responders.
I did not wear a mask to Walmart yet.
I meant to ask if you did.
No, I did not. But like I said, we were watching our zip code. If we start, and it's been at 1 for like the last week in our zip code.
Yeah.
So it has not been increasing. Whereas other counties, you are seeing every couple days, you're seeing that number double. But every few days is what we're seeing. It's been at a week, and there's been no other cases in our zip code. So I'm watching that before I go to the store. There will be at some point where I will probably feel the need. But everybody in the store was honestly staying back. I saw some people with masks. I did see people with gloves, and I honestly don't see the point in wearing a glove because everything you're touching, you're still touching all the groceries, and I'm still touching the buggy, and so I just hand sanitized often. Yep. I hand sanitized before I pulled my credit card out of my pocket. Like when I went in the store, I'm not taking my purse, I'm not taking a bunch of extra stuff. I'm taking my card, my pistol, my permit, and my keys, and like everything's going in my pocket. And I'm not touching my phone. I did a video for him of the buggy setup that he'll show you. He can add into the video. But I did that before I went in the store, and then my phone went in my pocket, and I didn't touch it till I had hand sanitized in the car for the last time. So I was doing that often. But everybody was like staying back. I saw several women who, if I turned down an aisle, they would stop and go the other way. Nice. So people were definitely social distancing. Well, you know, maybe I need to take a shower before I go to Walmart. So I did notice a shift in people in our Walmart being much more cautious. And I know at some point they're going to let us out again.
Yeah.
This has been going on a while, and I know that a lot of the small businesses are suffering. We're thankfully not one of them. We are still considered an essential business. So as long as we can get supplies in, we're still shipping stuff out. I know the economy is a big concern, and Facebook, I have a crowd of people yelling, lock the state down, and then I have a crowd of people yelling about the economy. So I've just stepped off because like we've been pretty much in the middle with everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know that we need to completely lock down the state, or at least for an extended amount of time. But
yeah, I kind of like what they're doing right now as far as, you know, regionally or locally locking stuff down. As you see hot spots, then start to shut those things down. I see it. But yeah, it's been kind of nice. We were talking about last night, like we sat on the back porch and listened to it rain. Like it was kind of nice for us in our life to slow down. This is starting to be our busiest time. Normally, we're going to different conferences, getting ramped up the NRA, stuff like that. So it's been kind of nice just to slow down just a little bit for us. So
yeah, giving me some extra time to add to my honey-do list.
Yeah,
that's why we were busy this weekend. He was cutting the property, and I had him working on a few projects. I stole his nightstand to paint it, so he didn't have a nightstand last night. He was very disappointed. So we got busy with projects, which is why we missed our video. But I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
It's kind of a boring week for us.
Yeah, it's been nice to be kind of bored. That has not happened in a long time. I get antsy on Sundays. I don't know why. Sundays are my antsy, restless days where I'm like, this needs to be over.
Yeah.
But
if you haven't watched Mrs. SkinnyMedic's video on Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, some of you guys commented and correct us on, whatever.
Same difference.
Same thing.
We're all celebrating the same thing.
Yeah. I didn't even reply about your comments. I'll put a link to that video here. Go watch it. It's an idea for you to do with your family, your neighborhood, things like that for Easter Sundays that's coming up. So
I was very encouraged by the many people who did comment and say they would be doing this. We've had friends text us and say that they talked to their neighbors and they're all going to meet at the end of the driveways and in their cul-de-sac. So I've been very encouraged that people will want to do something too. So
a lot of people are calling for you to do your own YouTube channel.
that's not going to happen. Love you guys. You can come see me on his channel. I'll grace you with my presence occasionally.
That's fine. Awesome. Anything else?
I think so.
Perfect. Thank you guys for watching. You never know when you'll be the first responder. Remember the right gear and the right training.